Hello and good morning. My name is John Bush, and I'm a student in DSE425, Learning and Instruction, with Professor Sarah Morgan. And this is my Activity 6.1b project, in which I will discuss my indirect strategy activity. A brief overview. I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to give you a prelude. I'm going to have a background of my school, Washington Union Easton High School, community of Easton, my campus environment, and then we'll talk about the administration of Romeo and Juliet lesson plan, week 1 layout, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then we'll have a summation or wrap things up. First of all, the purpose of this assignment and my completed project was to not only discuss my indirect strategy of group and cooperative learning, but I also wanted to paint a picture of the tremendous obstacles that our students must endure in the learning environment that they are placed in. I recognize that each teacher has their own obstacles, hurdles, and challenges with their classroom and students. But I truly believe that what we are able to accomplish here at Easton High School is nothing short of a miracle. Our students live in the most crime and violence-infested area in southwest Fresno. The area is ravaged with generational poverty, and most of our students are well below grade levels in all areas. So the first part of my project is filled with an overview with pictures of the area and our campus. Please note that due to our policy, no students were photographed in this project. So thank you for your time and enjoy the show. Background and history. I teach English at Washington High School at their continuation campus known as Easton High. Washington Union is the second oldest high school in Fresno County, founded in 1892. We only have 18 students on the continuation campus, down from a high of 27 at the beginning of the spring semester. Most are here for behavioral issues and poor academics, and many are on juvenile probation. Many are IEP or 504 students, and most are well below reading, writing, and comprehension level. I am a graduate of Washington High School, and life for me has come full circle as I came back here after a lengthy career in law enforcement. Here's a map of the community of Easton. It's very small. Easton was founded in 1881. Some examples of the generational poverty. Streets are narrow. Houses are pretty run down. You can see some of the houses out here in Easton. This is actually right across the street from our campus. Narrow streets, a lot of rundown houses and neighborhoods. Our learning environment, as I mentioned, my students are well below reading level. Our community, again, is one of the poorest in the nation. Additionally, our resources and learning environment isn't exactly the best. Our campus is made from portable buildings that have a shelf life of about 10 to 15 years. They're now going on close to 40 years. These buildings were actually here when I went to high school here in the 80s. So, welcome to Easton High School. Here's a picture of one of our classrooms. Our campus, we don't even have sheltered facilities for our kids to have lunch or breakfast. Our buildings have holes in the ceiling, so we have the lovely tarp on our buildings to keep water from getting in. More tarps. As you can see, our classroom gets wet frequently with the carpet. This is where I sit at. My floor was flooded once, and you know it's kind of dangerous, especially with all the electrical stuff there. Water leakage in the ceiling. And what's sad is that our students are in this environment trying to learn, and they already have these deficiencies of being below reading, writing, and comprehension levels. I don't have heat in my room, so I have to bring 2 heaters during the winter to keep the room warm. But our school does have a brand new $7 million football stadium that actually sits right outside my window here on the continuation campus. Technology here is sorely lacking. We had an old box TV in our classroom, and I bought my own TV so that I can at least bring my classroom into the modern era for lessons and everything that I teach in my class. Again, beautiful new stadium and all-weather track right outside my window. So anyway, I hope that painted a picture as to the learning environment. Administering the lesson plan. Our classroom setting is small and intimate. I usually only have 3 to 6 students per class. The class size is perfect for 1 to 2 groups of 3 students. Cooperative learning, group learning, or cooperative group learning is the indirect strategy that I have found works best in my class. Administering the lesson plan. I always create a Google slide of the lesson plan and I share it with my class to view on their Google Chromebooks. I will go over the slide presentation once in class, and after that the class is pretty much on their own, with me as a support role to help guide them and assist them throughout the plan. Administering the lesson plan, I give a synopsis of what they're going to be doing in this lesson plan. This is a lesson plan that I created for Romeo and Juliet. So in this lesson plan, instead of making them read the book, I let them watch the new 2013 version of the movie, because again, we have reading issues or comprehension issues with our students. In this plan, they're going to discover the era and the timeline of the story and compare and contrast the world of then versus today. We will explore the geography and working with maps, and we will make notation and discuss key moments in the book or the movie and where and when they occur. More importantly, we will discuss the values of the timeline and how they have changed over time to present modern day. This is just a brief synopsis. I introduced the class to Romeo and Juliet. Week one, we watched the movie. We will watch the movie Romeo and Juliet, 2013 version. We're going to take notes, identify characters and their relationships. This is where we break it into the groups, and we develop character maps and how all the characters are related. An assessment for week 1 is verbal Q&A discussion on character analysis. I always give them an example of what I'm looking for. So this is an example of a character map. No, I don't let them copy this character map. They have to create their own. Additionally, starting in week 1, I have the class write their tests. So each group will start developing questions that they are going to have for the final assessment at the end of the project. Now, I don't let them take their own assessment. I take all their questions. I create my own tests utilizing their questions, so the class has everybody's questions. So this starts with week 1. Moving on to week 2, we're going to talk about the geography and the era-related maps. Each 3-member group will create an as detailed map as possible utilizing we have 3-foot square construction paper. One person will be responsible for drawing the map. One person will be responsible for identifying and making key locations, cities, and capitals. One person will be responsible for doing online research, looking for pictures related to the cities, locations, and points of interest. To summarize week 2 and assessment, each group will give a verbal and a visual presentation to the classroom of their map. Each student who was assigned a key function in that group will tell in detail what they accomplished. Again, I give them maps. I show them exactly what they're looking at and what they're going to need to fill in. This is a modern version map off of Google. Week 3, we move on to a Google Slides presentation. Each person in the group will now create a Google Slide presentation. This presentation will include the following. They're going to create a synopsis of Romeo and Juliet. Their slides should contain descriptions and pictures that they found on the internet, descriptions or pictures of the settings, country of origin, points of interest, detailed major events in the reading, with pictures that you find on the internet. They should have 15 to 20 slides. More than 20 are just fine. Their presentation should be 5 to 10 minutes. Week 3 assessment, verbal Q&A of points of origin, points of interest, and points of key moments in the movie. Week 4, this is the final week. It's roughly a month-long lesson. They're going to finish up their Google Slide presentation Monday through Wednesday, for example. And then they're going to give their presentations on Thursday. And then the week 4 assessment is the written exam prepared by the class will be issued. Wrapping things up, in closing, I've used this assignment for 2 years now and I've had great success with it. The students have fun doing research on the era and timeline of Romeo and Juliet, and we have done compare and contrast from that area with present day 2017. compare and contrast has really opened the students' minds on just how far society has come. I feel more than confident that my students have a great understanding of Romeo and Juliet and can hold a conversation with any traditional learner from a regular classroom and educational setting. And that concludes my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I went off a little bit tangent-wise in terms of giving you a background of my school, the environmental setting, but I really wanted to, again, paint that picture as to exactly where my students come from and the environment that they're learning in and the obstacles and the hurdles and the challenges that not only our students have to overcome at home, but what they have to overcome here on our campus. So again, this concludes my presentation, and I thank you for your time. Have a great day.